Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What people do in no money, what they at you, in no at you. Could be money missing way in the your little rat you. Use the youth them on the waste of Bustamante statue. Say me like a catch you, but bigger than a figure you. Take the spit of money, God and say that it's not you. On the head, the man above end up, him a got stop you. Too much it in the kitchen, some a fly by like a patu. My singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% free.
It burn me.
Garbage pile of the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption peace.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
For me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The 100 the promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rap and they down in our fever. Member bowl honey and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
How them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me.
Stevie dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love lake. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
Good morning and welcome to Gold Standard Jamaica. Jamaica has set a new challenge for the world. I hope other countries will join in and see if this new challenge that Jamaica has set will work for any other country, where for the first time we are aware of a country that is without a finance minister. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you all for joining and welcome to the Global Television Group. It's lovely to have you all, as always, to my community party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome. Welcome to YouTube and TikTok. Thank you for joining us. Debbie Jarvis TV. Good morning, good morning. RJ, Sharon Bernard, the unstoppable one. Willie Don, Violet Watson, Jason Kane, Real Sweet, Marcia Gray, Bros, Marcia Thomas, Angela Missenden, Yvonne Bradford, Beat and Teach, Wagwan, Sophia Hall. Good morning, good afternoon. Raymond G, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome. My YouTube app been acting up this morning. Try to refresh it or try to restart your phone, Raymond. I want to say a massive thank you to Violet, Eugene, and Raymond. We put out our petition last night for assistance to repurchase our broadcasting package on StreamYard. Between you three, our target is £600. And between the three donors last night, we accumulated £270. Thank you very much. If anyone would like to donate so we can achieve our goal, we're almost halfway there. We accumulate £270 last night. Our target is £600. If you would like to assist Global TV with the repurchase of our broadcasting package, we greatly appreciate that. The link is pinned in the top of the chat. You can donate to assist if you want. The link that's on the screen, it's in the top of your YouTube chat where you can hit the link if you choose to do so. Thanks very much to Violet, Raymond, and Eugene for that respond and support last night. Thank you all very much. It is very much appreciated. Boy, Nigel gone left way, eh? Nigel gone left way, but night before Nigel go, Nigel said, my heart is full. I don't know what Nigel heart full of, you know. I don't know what Nigel heart is full of. But Nigel said his heart is full. Christine Gilbert, Michael Nepper, Wagwan. His heart is full. We're not really much interested in your heart, though, Dr. Clark. We would be more concerned about your pocket, real sweet. How are you? We will be more concerned about how full is Dr. Clark's pocket, whisking off to the IMF and a country that Dr. Clark loves so much. Dr. Clark was willing to walk away, leave the economy in tatters, leaving the confidence of the country's economy floored. Isn't it, Doctor? Call the Miami Herald and call the Financial Times, because them don't seem to see this. You remember the Miami Herald hailed Jamaica economy as the superpower for the Caribbean. Joan Brown hailed Jamaica economy as the superpower for the Caribbean. The Financial Times, I remember I read that article, the Financial Times of London. Taki said the first world needs a finance minister like Dr. Nigel Clark because of the miraculous bounce back of the Jamaican economy after Panderoshas. But uno a judge with economy based on the amount of where we make out of tourists and looking after uno not talk about sustainable developments in our economy, like with schools and with hospitals and our road infrastructure, with railway. All Andrew Oldness, from where them just get up a blind way over airport, waterfront, and hotel. Sharon Bernard. And that Jamaica economy reduced, you know. If it's not reduced to catering to tourists, while Edmund Bartlett can use taxpayers' money, celebrate his personal awards and whatever them bestow on him. That same Edmund Bartlett will make sure say poor people can't make nothing out of tourism, because when poor people make anything out of tourism, they not do nothing with the money, Rodney Reed. That same Edmund Bartlett, what we see send tractor and everything bulldozer go pull, cut up and chop up rafters livelihood in order for Edmund Bartlett and him friend them. Cassie, how are you? In order for Edmund Bartlett and him friend them to flourish and continue to report the belly of the tourism sector without the rest of Jamaica getting a dime out of it, is only about politicians and them private investor. Because the private investor money where they make out of tourism now stay in Jamaica. So Jamaica now benefit from all of these fancy development we now talk about. Because when you destroy with agriculture and center with economy around tourism, Master Essay, how do you expect us to grow and survive? Have you not seen what happened during pandemic? That's why Vernon Adams, them London Times, can tell we how Nigel good because the economy bounce back. Yes, because a lot of people were bored after the lockdown, and a lot of people want to flood into Jamaica to enjoy themselves and to de-stress themselves. A lot of people want to go home and see their family. So I hit on our talk say economic rebound because a lot of foreigner come into the country. But how much of that money Dr. Clark and Edmund Bartlett stayed in Jamaica after the plush resort them earn all of what they need to earn out of it? How much do you think the Jamaica economy benefit? Look how close Negril and Montego Bay is. Look how close Negril and Montego Bay is. All right, if one couldn't accept, say, you're going to expand Montego Bay Airport with a new terminal, how do we get all the way to want to build a new airport at Negril? What benefit you think that would bring to Jamaica, Miranda Rada? That will only benefit the foreign investors who have more people coming into their all-inclusive resorts and only guided around the country where if you want to friend them, they fi make more money out on. But the average Jamaican higgler, the average Jamaica small business, the average rural Jamaica do not see the tourist dollar. But them say Nigel was the best. And them say them love them country very much, Althea. But Nigel can willing to walk away from Jamaica, Keith Matthews, even when he realized say Andrew Holness don't have a replacement for him. And this is a threat to what Nigel claimed he have built. Because if nobody's just steady hand nodded, if you steer it, it will pop down, carrying them out, isn't it? Let me propose something to you, Andrew Holness. And this is what governments who care about their country rather than their personal ambition would do at the moment. Hear how you put the country. Hey, Keith Matthews, you thunder the whole away in a limbo. You know, see Jamaica create history, Keith Matthews, a country left without a finance minister. This has never happened before. You couldn't even name the deputy, in junior minister. That's how dangerous it is. Whatever Andrew is hiding behind door Keith, it's all gonna come out soon because whether I'm a choose himself or I'm a choose any other criminal, at the end of the day, are the same person I go choose who am I hide from with, even if I'm himself or him wife, Lawrence Wood, Caroline Richards. So, me not see the hide and seek where my play because if I him or I'm wife or anybody else unqualified, I mean, the same person you go come tell we both. So what's the hiding, Colin? We were waiting to hear yesterday in Parliament while they were serenading Nigel, tell Nigel how, till Nigel him I tell the whole world how him belly full. Even Paul Well, me hear us say Nigel served with distinction. Me don't know one of the distinction, which one of the distinction I talk about and which teacher marking distinction book. But back to the proposal, Andrew Holness. Back to the proposal if it's about our country. The fact that you're in a caterwire with choosing a new Minister of Finance, Norman Ferguson. Here's what I would advise you to do, Prime Minister. This is what is called a cross-party government. You have an overwhelming majority which you can vote against anything you don't like, Prime Minister. Here is my offer. You're struggling to find someone in the representative to become the new Minister of Finance. Operate under a cross-party governance, Prime Minister. Appoint Julian Robinson as the Minister of Finance. Julian Robinson, Prime Minister, cannot step outside of your full portfolio when it comes to finance issues because you have the power, your party has the power to veto or vote against any proposal that he put forward that you are not aligned with. But for the greater good of the country, Prime Minister, if you haven't got a safe pair of hands, Gloria Morris, within your party, within the representative at the moment, appoint the shadow Minister of Finance to the position. That's what good governance would look like, Prime Minister. That's what putting the country first would need, Prime Minister. That is what putting the country's economy first would need. Because to be staggering like this, Prime Minister, not knowing where your head or your tail is at the moment when it comes to do with the Ministry of Finance. Putting back confidence in our economy. A great thing would to do, Prime Minister, is to be selfless. Be selfless at the moment, Prime Minister, and appoint Julian Robinson as the Minister of Finance for the country. Run one list. Devontae Dunn. I don't know why you August weird but me August find out more. We have to go search. We have to go help. And but this is how we work together as a country. How we work selflessly together and put the countries first. Because at the end of the day, Prime Minister, after the next general election, Julian Robinson will be running the Ministry of Finance. Appoint Julian Robinson. You cannot do better at the moment. It's better to put somebody there who understands rather than you just stay and watch the thing free fall. This shouldn't have happened. The Prime Minister knew from August, the later part of August, that Nigel Clark was going the end of October. The Prime Minister have more than a month to secure Nigel's replacement, to make sure Nigel's handover portfolio properly to whoever replaces Nigel, given the notice period the Prime Minister had from Nigel Clark. And this morning, we're waking up to a country that we cannot speak of a Minister of Finance because Nigel Clark bowed out yesterday, belly full, bat his complete innings, not out, leaving the stadium, not sitting in the pavilion and watch them bat. He's leaving the stadium for good. A healthcare in crisis. Even though them say money are not the problem, the healthcare is in identifiable crisis. He will not appoint Julian Robinson because it will highlight the fact that he has no qualified person. But Lawrence, we identify already, Lawrence. So nobody know they qualify. This is why I'm giving him other options. British Smith Sparling, Marlene W. Even if Andrew hide Lawrence, even if he's hiding behind that, I mean, if he's listening carefully, he would have known that we have identified that already. The nation is aware of that he hasn't got anyone qualified or competence. Carleen Jones. The nation is pretty much aware of that. That is why I'm giving the Prime Minister other option, other workable option. Because the way he hopes to do it, as we think or ponder on, is that him or somebody unqualified will front the ministry with Alok Jean directing them in the shadows and will be the finance minister by stealth, only that you have a stooge standing in front of you. When I don't, they don't tell you money hungry and you don't look for finance minister. He already have a finance minister in his office in a corner. Or we say, and you have a minister and filing cabinet? No, sir. No, the question to ask Eva Chin, you mad Robinson would know and find out too much. But even if Robinson know and find out too much, you see what would pin Robinson that Robinson couldn't. It would be hard for Robinson to leak to the PNP without him being sacked from the cabinet. Robinson would be pinned by what is called the ministerial code. So him have to go along with what is there. Him now can't act against them too much. Plus, them have power to vote against anything. What this would demonstrate, though, is that a safe pair of hands is on the economy rather than we're free falling as it is at the moment. And this is really shocking. I mean, 2024, brand Jamaica, rebranding Jamaica, developing Jamaica, but we don't have a Minister of Finance. All of that, a Minister of Finance is very relevant too. So if the Prime Minister care about the country, let us see a selfless act from you, Prime Minister, appointing the shadow spokesman to the finance ministry. That would suggest that, yes, the Prime Minister cares about the country. But then again, if you take up yourself, go all the way over yonder, go look for people to come rebrand with. After owner take it and mash it up, then you're not going to look closer to home because you're far-sighted. You're not near-sighted, Prime Minister. Hmm? You very, very far-sighted. PMP said 100 Mr. Plans they will take in the street. Yes, Mayor Jayton Campbell said if Andrew take the finance ministry, they'll be taking. But it is not ethical, given all of what Andrew Holness is wrapped up into at the moment. It is just not ethical for Andrew Holness to take on the money ministry when he is in problem with the integrity body over his financial dealings. It just wouldn't make sense. Not for one bit. It just wouldn't make sense. But, you know, Andrew Holness, Juliet Holness, and Nigel Clark, they seem to can wiggle them way through all sort of galanging. You wonder how Carlos Gray Wagwan, the woodshed. So, may I tell you, it terrible. Look at where we've end up. But one of the things we're doing, we're not letting Dr. Tufton get away with the lies. We're going to keep it in the headline and in the spotlight because Dr. Tufton continued to tell a lot of lies on the medical professions, and Dr. Tufton going to Parliament was swing round him mouth yesterday like I never him say so. And we're going to continue to remind Tufton that, are you so? We heard you. Hmm? We heard you. But let me take a 1 minute to put out my appeal again. If anyone wants to assist Global Television to repurchase or broadcasting package on StreamYard, our aim is to accumulate £600. Last night we accumulated £270. We're almost halfway there. If you would like to support, the link is in the top of the chat where you can donate to Zelle or PayPal if you want to assist Global Television with or broadcasting. Thank you very much. And once again, a massive thank you to Violet, Eugene, and Raymond for their support last night. 3 people already take us halfway. Every mickle make a muckle. If you support the Global Television brand, put whatever you have in the kitty so we can achieve our target. Thank you very much. You cannot put a money his office like the finance office in a. This is the problem. Andrew too finger fearing. Andrew in a too much bangarang with finances at the moment to really lead the ministry. When you're looking at the Gleaner, I've been a Sarko, the Wagon. when you look in at the thingy there, in at the gleaner and all, but everybody have all sort of provider in the boat. Dr. Clark, Dr. Who, Dr. Me, Dr. When, goodbye Joe. But Joe has gone and left us in a lot of problem, leaving us without a finance ministry, leaving us with a confused FinSac report which he promised us, leave us with a swelter of robbery and a hidden report over SSL, a big criminality. Nigel, where Philip Palwell, so Nigel served with distinction. Me no know if a Scorpion Stinction are with Sting your talk, Philip Palwell. But if Nigel Clark was such a distinct Minister of Finance, why Nigel Clark leave a glorious country where Nigel Clark thief so much money and run through foundation and swindle and wash with leeching and all that? And still, decide to get up, walk away from that brand Jamaica. You know the brand Jamaica where Andrew go look people all the way a war yonder to rebrand? Nigel couldn't stay to help with it. Nigel Clark have to go where his duties are. Jamaica is not Nigel's duty. Nigel's duty is war yonder. Jamaica is not Nigel Clark's duty. Because when Andrew walk and look for somebody to rebrand it, and the London Times and the Financial Times in London and the Miami Herald walk and hail Nigel and Jamaica economy, where are you all now? Where are you all now? Now that Nigel has floored the economy, walk well left way. Just so. Walk well left way in a confusion. Walking away, leave Jamaica with a bankrupt economy. Where is the Financial Times? Where is the Miami Herald? Just like how when did say Jamaica the Caribbean superpower. How no see now? Want to no eye, want to no pen on a computer keyboard. You can write and ask the question, why after Nigel Clark turn around Jamaica economy so good, Nigel Clark is walking away, leave it for it to fall flat on its face because the Prime Minister has nobody qualified to assist or to act up within that position. Why no write about it? Why no don't see this? Because all of that, all of that was Nigel Clark auditioning for the World Bank or the IMF. And what did Nigel Clark do before Nigel Clark jetted off? Nigel Clark signed a borrowing that thing at 12 million or billion with the World Bank to develop waterfront, all about tourism again. It's all about tourism. Jamaica is not being developed so Jamaicans can thrive and survive and become business owners or entrepreneurs in Jamaica. We are being taught to look after those who live a more social standing life than us. That's all we've been trained for. As Abraham Ture called it, salon slaves. Because we're always looking after people, aren't we? We're always looking after people. And this is what the Jamaica economy is built on. Looking after people, cooking food for them, serving food for them, cleaning up after them, serving them, gyrating ourselves around pools with tray and our head for them. Do you think that's a sustainable economy? when if crime, natural disaster, or man-made disaster like the lockdown, the economy fall flat on him face because people cannot travel to and fro. And you think that was a bounce back for the Jamaican economy and how great Nigel was. Where is the great Nigel this morning? Where is the great Nigel this morning when the Jamaica economy is left without a finance minister? After the prime minister was given over a month's notice from Nigel Clark, the country is still left without a finance minister. How good do you think that is for the confidence of the Jamaican economy? Hmm? Come on, Andrew, do better than that. We know no dons. But we don't have to take when rub dunceness in our face like that. I mean, you could act like you don't all that dunce, couldn't you? Hmm? You could act like you don't all that dunce, you know. Do something for fool with. Hmm? Try fool with a man. Your sister will out here because we sister no can do better, you know. We know you cannot do better. But what we're saying, try fooling us. It is the type of optics you portray every day on social media. Try fool us. Try fool us so you find a finance minister. Hmm? Just pick up anything out of cloud and just tell we can we wake up out of we sleep and we're not too sensible. So we not go understand what you say when you say it. It's after we fully wake up, we're gonna rub with eye and say backside. And that him there say it true. But try fool with Prime Minister. Hmm? Try fool with. See if that work. Because we know you're stuck. We know you cannot replace Nigel. Because when they throw the party together, especially Junior Gilmore, especially when you have your election 2020 in the middle of lockdown. You creep up one whole heap of anybody will want to be an MP without having any qualification that could elevate to a government cabinet post, Andrew Holness. It's not the first we've seen it. Dr. Chang, has always been a lacking of performance. Hit the like button, my people. And remember to support the donation to help us to repurchase our StreamYard package. We target to reach £600. We're almost halfway there. We got £270 last night. Support the program. Another first, Dr. Chang, there's a woeful failure over the Ministry of National Security involving PICA and all of that as well. You have never managed to shuffle Dr. Chang and put somebody there who has the courage to come up with new ideas and new way of thinking. The last time you shuffle cabinet, Prime Minister, you tell us directly the Ministry of National Security is a difficult one. Nobody wants to go over there. By extension, you're telling us that we're stuck with Horace Chang. All right. We know from them time they are done. Dr. Tufton. Even Dr. Tufton and Dr. Chang, the way how you place them, because there's a thing called positioning in politics, Prime Minister, it goes all the way up to your cabinet. Positioning. Dr. Chang nor Dr. Tufton was not properly positioned. Dr. Chang should have been over Ministry of Health. Tufton should have been over Ministry of Tourism. You understand? That's the positioning. If you think about political positioning in our cabinet to make a cabinet work, Prime Minister, that's how you would position. Just like how you did find Nigel and you position Nigel because after Ardley Shaw, you couldn't come up with anything except for Nigel Clark, which on have to buy the seat from Derek Simit for one, or not even buy, lease the seat from Derek Simit for one whole heap of money, and then soon after hand over back the seat to Derek Simit now for give him son. So there was no political positioning. Just like how you know, say, put Marlene Malahou Fort or Delroy Chuck over there, so that's a type of political positioning, even though them dunce. Go back again, you did have a good political positioning with Marissa Dalrymple Filbert, but when Marissa Dalrymple Filbert had to go, you skewed up with the political positioning there, so again, which you should appoint another lawyer. Probably you should put Pernell Charles of the Speaker of the House then, rather than Juliet Holness. Because the Speaker of the House required somebody with legal knowledge. This is why it has become so difficult for your wife, Prime Minister, Ada James Lenworth Steele. I don't know if you notice it. But this is why it has become so difficult for your wife. That's because of political positioning. And see there now, you end up, you can't find a finance minister because Nigel was drafted in, and one never know said Nigel was going to run off to the big fish. Thanks for your subscription, Kathy. Thank you very much. You never know. You never know it was good. Nigel was going to pick up and run off. Ronald B. And now Nigel run off, left the Jamaica economy. The Jamaica economy is flat on its face, lack of confidence. If hell should have popped now, we don't have somebody to speak in that official capacity. I've never seen this happen in any country. This would only happen in an overnight situation under the Westminster democracy. If Nigel Clark fell short of grace and had to resign yesterday with immediate effect, under the Westminster democracy, the Prime Minister would be required to appoint someone yesterday or at latest this morning. This is not the case, though. The actual case is here that Nigel Clark gave Andrew Holness over a month notice period in the employment spheres, which allows the employer to find a replacement within that 4 or 5 weeks period of knowing feline that Nigel Clark was about to go. How embarrassing yesterday it was for the Parliament to serenade Nigel Clark, but could not have spoken a word of Nigel Clark's replacement. This is an absolute disgrace for our country. An absolute disgrace. But before we go over to Christopher Tufton, let's remind you all in the Eastern Belt, Sharon Powell, how are you? Of Florida, the West Park community. You all should be aware that early voting has already started and election day is Tuesday coming, is it not? So if you have not yet supported Commissioner Joy and you are in that neck of the woods, please do so.
West Park, a community that thrives thanks to the dedication of one remarkable leader, Commissioner Joy B. Smith. From her early beginnings in England and Jamaica to her current role as a commissioner in West Park, Commissioner Joy's journey is a testament to her unwavering commitment to service and community. Every day, Commissioner Smith's actions speak volumes. Here, she's personally distributing groceries to local residents, ensuring that no one in our community goes hungry.
That's a little something. Not a problem. That's what I do. just give back to my community. I find the resources and I bring it on in.
Commissioner Joy's hands-on approach exemplifies her dedication. As she runs for re-election, she remains dedicated to making a positive difference.
Hello, everybody. I just want to encourage you to vote for Miss Joy. She's running for West Park Commissioner, seat 3. She's an amazing person. She actually cares about West Park, and she wants to do a lot of things for the community. I encourage everybody to get out there and vote, and she's an amazing person. She's the right person to vote for. I encourage you, remember, seat 3 for West Park Commissioner, Miss Joy.
Commissioner Joy's passion for supporting our youth is equally profound. At the recent back-to-school event, Commissioner Joy was there, handing out backpacks filled with essential supplies. This event wasn't just about school supplies. It was a celebration of our children's future, supported by local law enforcement who provided invaluable training and guidance. And it's clear that Joy's impact resonates deeply.
I remember when I didn't have a car, she would literally drive the food to my house, and that shows her commitment, it shows her heart, and it shows that she is in this position to help the community. And it's not about just being a commissioner or about the title. It's literally for the people and for the community, and to make sure that we are on point. Vote Joy!
From personal conversations to community outreach, Commissioner Joy Smith listens, understands, and acts with a heartfelt dedication to improving our city. Her leadership has already brought transformative initiatives, back-to-school drives, essential food distributions, and community celebrations. As she seeks re-election, Commissioner Joy is focused on continuing this momentum. Her vision includes removing red light cameras for smoother commutes, lowering property taxes to ease financial burdens, and fostering economic growth through collaboration with local businesses. Commissioner Joy Smith is also committed to expanding programs for both seniors and youth, ensuring every resident, young and old, has the support they need. And with a renewed focus on reviving cherished traditions like the Goombay Festival, Joy aims to rekindle the vibrant spirit of community that makes West Park truly special.
This is Commissioner Joy B. Smith, and I want to thank you for your continued trust and support. Every decision I make is guided by a genuine concern for our community's need. As I seek re-election, I am committed to building our successes, addressing pressing concerns, and bringing renewed energy to our city. Together, let's continue to make West Park a place where every resident feel heard, valued, and empowered. I ask for your support as we move forward together. Let's keep making our community the best it can be. Once again, this is Commissioner Joy B. Smith, and thank you for watching.
Right, we're back to Dr. Death. Dr. Walkie Talkie tell it all about. Doctor say him know what it's like to feel disabled since Valiant push him down off and bike when him there run from the fire where him set a parliament. You think we forget that, Dr. Tufton? You think we forget, say, at the fire where you set the parliament, because the person in the picture where run from parliament and the blue overall in the Dr. Tufton, only you look so, Dan Mel Morning. Only you look so, Dr. Tufton. So whoever did light the fire at parliament was Dr. Tufton. But Dr. Robert Brady has caused quite an uproar in the health sector, Ivan Riley. And Dr. Tufton is just trying to push the blame just about on anybody Dr. Tufton can. Let's listen to Robert Brady.
Amazing people here at this hospital, the doctors, the nurses, the physicians, the residents, and we take great care of these kids. But there are some clear infrastructure issues here. Okay, I've been coming here for 20 years. There's some very clear infrastructure issues that need to be solved. You know, I made a request 2 months ago when we heard the air conditioning issues. We need to fix it, or you need to make accommodations somewhere else. Now, the fact that they want to make accommodations, make the decision today to do it tomorrow, that's not right. That's not right for the patients. And my request was ignored. So I think that if this is the only children's hospital currently on the hospital in the island. We're probably the most technologically advanced Caribbean island in healthcare-wise. We have to be the gold standard. Our hospitals have to be the gold standard, and we have to. People come from other islands so we can take care of their children because we know that our healthcare system is good, and we have to maintain that. And so we have to go through the hospitals, make sure you're absolutely correct. The autoclave systems are working. We can only do single instruments now. That's an issue. The air conditionings have to work, and we understand this is an old hospital. There's other things that we need to do to fix it, but these need to be addressed and fixed, and the money needs to go into helping these children. And I come here twice a year. I bring a whole team. We donate thousands of dollars of equipment because we want to help these people. And you guys have to put the infrastructure.
You guys have to put the infrastructure in. You guys have to make sure the money is spent on the children. And then Dr. Tufton took to the airways.
Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com.
Up first this evening, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has sought to clarify the circumstances surrounding the case at the Bustamante Hospital for Children who is in need of surgery for scoliosis.
And the surgery was delayed because of poor conditions at the hospital.
And as Jamila Maitland reports, although the child has been referred to the University Hospital of the West Indies, there's still no definitive timeline on when she'll receive the corrective procedure.
11-year-old Ajani Parchment will have to bear the discomfort of her scoliosis a while longer before she's able to live a normal childhood. Her surgery was postponed at the Bustamante Hospital for Children because the operating theater is not up to standard. It doesn't have a functioning AC unit, making it too hot for surgeries. But during a press briefing Thursday morning, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the procedure can be facilitated elsewhere.
The University Hospital of the West Indies has consented based on discussions and with the lead clinician there, Dr. Carl Bruce, having consulted with his team at UWIC to make an operating theater available.
The issue is the doctors who are part of a mission from the United States leave the island in 24 hours. Fighting back the tears is Dr. Robert Bradley, who heads the team. Sadly, he says it's too late.
They want to make accommodations, make the decision today to do it tomorrow. That's not right. It's not right for the patients.
The health minister declared that Ajani will do her surgery. He wasn't able to say when. It's what worries Ajani's mom. Dr. Bradley and his team performs the surgeries for free. He revealed that the team usually does between 12 and 16 corrective surgeries during their visits. This time, they were only able to do 5.
In regards to my daughter's surgery, I still don't have any clue whether it's going to be done or not.
A visibly upset Dr. Tufton describes it as a perennial problem. The multi-million-dollar high-functioning operating theaters are seemingly not functioning.
I've asked for a draft terms of reference to engage a private entity to coordinate the overall maintenance of the plant of a health facility.
CEO of the hospital, Anthony Wood.
We have 5 operating theaters. Of the 5, 2 are presently 3 works, but one of them have high condensation taking place right now. 2 actually not functional.
One has been out for how long?
Many years.
And that's the other thing.
Dr. Tufton explained that
You
the
heard that
company was
one has been
contracted to
out for
repair
many
the
years
AC in
now.
April. Another company has since been brought in, but the problem remains.
The company that supplies the service has been at it for 5 months without resolution. And then we engage another one who said they can fix it, and in fairness, were prompt to assess, but now has bureaucratic hurdles.
Keep topping up the screen on TikTok,
based on
please.
their own internal arrangements. And now we're
Patricia Matthews, how are you? Tanisha Ellis.
TVJ News observed the leadership of the Southeast Regional Health Authority speaking with the senior doctors about the issues they're experiencing. We understand that surgeries like Anjone's that require more than 4 hours pose significant risk for infection. The hospital, however, says it reviews and provides treatment on a case-by-case basis. Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
What that then did was turn into a war of words between Dr. Tufton and the private contractor, Geddes Refrigeration, where Dr. Tufton was outed in public for the lies coming from Dr. Tufton.
Dr. Tufton claimed that Geddes Refrigeration Limited was terminated from its contract under the Program for the Reduction of Maternal and Child Mortality PROMAC at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital. The minister said Geddes was replaced by CAC, another company, which he said had been relieved of their duties under a similar project at the Children's Hospital.
Victoria Jubilee Hospital has a maternal intensive care unit under the PROMAC system. That's the one of all of them that's not working. Why? Because of central air conditioning system. For 2 years, Geddes Refrigeration has been given the job, the task, to repair or to put in that central system. Am I wrong? This is the regional director. 2 years. System can't fix. Not a lack of money, not a lack of decision, can't fix. We fired them. And CAC, say what that was fired here, has now been hired. You know, have a lot of options. Now I ask you the question. Where does the burden lie? And at what point are we going to call out some of these things? The conversation is that the hospital and the health system is incompetent because you have an operating theater that's not working because the AC is down.
Dr. Tufton's comments seem to shift the blame for the stalled surgical operations as a result of non-functioning air-conditioned units to the private contractors. But Dane Lafayette isn't having it. He tells Nationwide News that his company successfully installed the units at VJH in the 2020 to 21 period. He says the units operated efficiently for over a year without issues, despite not having performed any maintenance services. He says his company repeatedly submitted maintenance proposals to the ministry, but was never formally engaged to carry out repairs or maintenance on the unit in question.
As far as I know, since we have installed the equipment, Geddes Refrigeration Limited has never been engaged for maintenance services, despite repeatedly sending the maintenance proposals or having meeting with the team of Southeast Regional Authority. As far as I know, we have never been formally engaged to execute any repair, and we are unable to restore any unit to operation that it has reached the position that we were fired or terminated. Everyone in my organization understands the importance of hospital services. If there's a report of equipment not operating or functioning properly, my team responds within 3 hours or less. The assessment is carried out, the necessary costing to effect the repairs is provided to the region, and we cannot effect the repairs if we are not engaged or formally instructed to.
Lafayette notes that the only problem ever reported involved a temporary cooling failure, which he said was promptly resolved. Referencing work on other units over the years, Lafayette says on the occasions his company was engaged to carry out repairs, it found the units to be in poor condition.
Over the years, I've had repeated meetings with the region, advising them of the need to maintain the equipment, because each time we are called, the equipment is in a despicable state. That's the only word I could use to describe it. And it should be noted, that in many instances, when we are finally engaged after a period of weeks or months, the state in which we left the equipment after we assessed it for repairs is not the same. The unit is either scrapped or we find that other people have been working on the equipment. And this has always been communicated to the respective personnel. So it's just quite concerning to hear the minister's pronouncement on radio. It's always important for the minister or anyone to listen to their team members, but it's also important to listen to your service providers as well, and also make an effort to bridge the gap.
Ricardo Brooks.
Donovan Blake, morning. You would have thought Dr. Tufton would have backed down there and take responsibility. Oh no, Dr. Tufton went on a detour of his blame game. Dr. Tufton then came out and told us that this is the health workers' fault because we have made sure we put adequate amount of resources in developing and upgrading our infrastructure. So the healthcare that you are getting is the hospital workers and the administrators' fault. What that sparked, Dr. Tufton, was a battle because the shadow spokesman for health, Dr. Dawes, came out and he laid it out. Not only that, Dr. Tufton, the doctors became restive because you, the doctor who have failed, turn around and blame the doctors, the hospital administrators. Keep topping up the screen on TikTok, please. And then Dr. I believe Blake came out again. But what Dr. Blake argument signaled to us that it's hard for you to say Dr. Dawes was lying because Dr. Blake isn't playing politics, is he? Dr. Blake isn't playing politics.
In a few months at the Bustamante Hospital for Children, orthopedic surgeon and consultant Dr. Warren Blake knows firsthand what medical staff had to do to keep the operations running. It is why he's concerned about the comments made by the Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, about the malfunctioning AC units in the operating rooms. The minister pointed to poor maintenance of the infrastructure by the hospital's administrators for some of the recurring problems. According to Dr. Blake, that's not the case. He referred us to a plan put in place back in April to fix the AC units in all operating rooms. He said if that plan was allowed to go ahead, problems with the AC units would be non-existent.
And that plan was to have been funded by the Chase Fund. The administration of the hospital was well involved in this, and when they sent to the ministry to get permission was denied. And the minister needs to also address the reasons why the permission was denied to go ahead with the plans earlier this year to fix the hospital. And it's because of this denial that's part of the major reason why we don't have any operating theatre functioning properly at the Children's Hospital at this time.
As it relates to suggestions that patients can do operations at the university hospitals of the West Indies, Dr. Blake says it's easier said than done.
In fact, one of our patients who were on the list for the mission was in fact sent to the university hospital in an attempt to try and get her done through the hospital. She returned to us when she got an invoice for $1 million. All right, we were told that the invoice would probably have been waived, but when the mother faced with an invoice like that, she didn't want to go through all the problems to get the invoice waived, so she came back down to Bustamante Hospital.
Dr. Blake says for months now, he has had to be cancelling major surgeries because of problems with the hospital's AC unit. At the press conference, Minister Tufton also said it was difficult to get persons to maintain equipment. Dr. Blake stated the reason why contractors are reluctant to carry out servicing at public hospitals.
None of the suppliers want to maintain their equipment because they don't get paid. And if they do get paid, they get paid very late. So the ministry is looked upon as a very bad creditor.
Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
I just want to labor right over TikTok. Because, you have to continue to educate labor right. Mr. What's it or other you call Mr. Worldwide over TikTok. You see, the word propaganda is best used if you listen to when Andrew Holness and Christopher Tufton in particular speaks, if you want to use the word propaganda. Now, these information that I'm bringing forward, they are words from the doctor. And what UNO JLP supporters normally do is to run around and hear a line of someone conversation and then run off into a oopsie daisy and say, oops, that's PNP propaganda. Let me educate you if you don't know. I'm an independent journalist. I have no political affiliation to any of the two parties. The work that I do is about a better Jamaica and the people of Jamaica. The government is at the helm of decision making. Thus, the government is also at the helm of scrutiny. When we scrutinize the prime minister, it doesn't mean it's because we are PNP supporters. It just means that the prime minister is the decision maker. The prime minister is making woeful decisions worldwide. So therefore, one should encourage the prime minister. One should call out the prime minister, and one should chastise the prime minister in public. The leader of the opposition will be held to the same standard when he's making those decisions for us after the next general election. If Uno can sit down and think Andrew can win another third term with such a low, where his vote coming up so low in the polls, then let's wait and see if it will happen. But Uno Labour right need to stop run from page to page and I tell people say them bad mind are a propaganda. I mean, there's 3 doctors speaking against what Christopherton is saying. Also, a contractor has came out and said Christopherton is lying. How then do you call that propaganda? Weigh up the balance of probability here and tell me if 3, 4, or 1 would be rather more lying than 3 or 4. Weigh up the balance of probability or the propensity. There's a higher propensity here, is it not, Mr. Worldwide, that Dr. Tufton is lying because 3 doctors and a contractor disagree with Dr. Tufton. There is a high propensity here, is it not, that Dr. Tufton is lying. That's not propaganda. That's not how propaganda works. Propaganda is when the prime minister tells you that good economic management can yam. Those are propaganda. Propaganda is when Christoph then tell you that because Valiant bounced me off a bike where I really understand how disabled people feel. Sod it, Christopherton. And everything a propaganda. All right? It's not everything a propaganda. I don't stop link me to PNP party. On a drunk Labour right. When me did that Jamaica, the 2 times I ever vote in a Jamaica was for the Jamaica Labour Party. The 2 times I've ever voted in Jamaica was for the Jamaica Labour Party. But should I continue to align myself to criminals? I don't think so. Do I? I really don't think so. I mean, look at Nigel Clark, Andrew Holness, SSL, Siaga, Omar Davis. They've all benefited out of FinSAC and SSL, haven't they? Would you call that propaganda, or would you want to go and read the FinSAC? Look at your Prime Minister. Is it a propaganda to read the integrity report as to what it suggests and what is in the integrity report? I don't think so. I don't think that's propaganda. So Uno Labour have to stop with those suck your mama, bad mind, and propaganda. Do you have anything else to say? Because every time I buck up pound, I want out of the 3. I'm not a supporter of the People's National Party. Neither am I a supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party. I am Jamaican first. I want to stop portraying the dunceness. I know everybody involved in the dunceness like Uno. And everybody involved in the dunceness, like if stop work and brand people to be uno. Why uno have so much heartache when people step away from uno? People are allowed to be independent. There's nothing that says we should support JLP or PNP. But it doesn't stop me from speaking the truth of what is happening in the country. The country this morning is left without a finance minister. It is woeful for our economy. That lacks confidence in our economy. That shows that with such an overwhelming majority, the Prime Minister's inability to replace Nigel Clark shows grave competency going on over there. Should we not say that? Is that not true? The Prime Minister had over a month notice period from Nigel Clark. This is a very important post in our government. The Ministry of Finance, which is central to every other department. And you want to tell us that it's propaganda to speak on that? Come on now. We don't have to do better over there. JLP, Ladybug, how you do? We don't have to do better over there. We can't just everything is bad mind, is propaganda. No, it's not. And people don't have to be JLP supporters or PNP supporters. There's a lot of us who are Jamaicans. And you both party affiliates, you must respect that some of us are Jamaicans. We don't have to be veteran wagwan. Me say I call me, since I'm live. You don't have to be PNP or JLP. It is okay to be Jamaican. Trust me. Try it and see if it's not okay. So what you don't have to do, you don't have to badger people into supporting your party, or you don't have to get into a hissy fit and walla when people criticize what your party is doing. It is why our country is not moving forward. It is why our country is stuck into a political tribal cycle where we bat and ball for the two party but not for our country. Please excuse me out of that. I mean, it's modern day now. It is modern day now. So don't limit me to political tribalism. I don't like it. I do not like when people come on my page and limit me to political tribalism. It don't sound good. When you deal with political tribalism, you have no interest or care for the country. That's not my agenda. I really hate when people come on here and latch me to one party. I don't like it. I don't support none of them. The two of them has been thief over the years. The two of them has done nothing for us. The reason why we healthcare fall down is not because of JLP only. The reason why our economy has not done well and has not improved our social life is not because of JLP only. When you listen to my program one time, you can't judge me on a sentence. I've been on this road for a year. You can't just come out here and judge me upon one sentence where you buck up pan and it irritates you. Why don't you look at my work over the year and see that my work says I'm not affiliated to any of them. I don't love any of them. I don't care about any of them. And I don't back for any of them. But the one who is making the decision is the one that we hold accountable. I hope you understand it like that. I hope you can understand it like that. Because that's what it really is. Me not come out here for bat for no party. I'm here to bat for the country. That means if our country is left without a finance minister, I'm going to have to talk about it. If our country healthcare is going underwater, I have to talk about it. It's not because I'm politically affiliated to a party. Oh no, it's because I care about the country. Some man who run Comania are on the very same Jamaicans who live at home, where go through the terrible bad health care and all the things them where we speak out against, where we know so no can get better, but because we're so into a politician, them are not into on self, on a country, on a future, on a children future, we just follow them blindly. I beg to differ. Pardon me from that walking blindly. I do not do that. I don't go into places I don't know. I do not lead blindly. Don't invite me into willful blindness. Because most of you in Jamaica who rigidly tribally support these two parties, you do it willfully blind. Don't ask me to do that. I know some mistake. One must learn to think and listen before you open your mouth and use the few little words one know how to use. Okay? And remember, if you want to support us into repurchasing our broadcast package on StreamYard, we aim to achieve £600, which is what it costs us. Last night, we got almost halfway there. 3 or 4 globalists donated, and we made it to £270. Every Mickle Maker Mottle, whatever you can put in the Zelle or the PayPal, it's much appreciated. Thank you very much for being here this morning. I think cabinet press briefing. What time? Remind me what time cabinet press briefing start again, because then we're expecting today to hear something. I mean, going past today and not hearing something about Nigel Clark's replacement. I don't know. I really don't know. You mean the country is in a wait and see at the moment? And it's not a good place. It's just honestly not a good place for our country to be right now, when one of the things that is well needed is a good, stable hands on the economy. It's woeful. It is woeful. But continue to tapping up the screen over TikTok. There's 35 of you here. And listen to a troll. Tap up the screen, man. Support the program. It's not hard to take your finger and tap on the screen. Tap up the screen and give your support. If you're here and you're enjoying the program and it makes sense to you, you know. Tap up the screen. 30 down over here. Don't make no finger seize side of the screen and not keep tapping it away. On YouTube as well, make sure you hit the like button and remember to continue to support. Thank you very much for being here with us this morning on the Global Television Group. It was lovely to have your support as always. Join us back this afternoon for the People's Point of View at 11 p.m. UK time. Thank you and good morning from the Global Television Group.